Hey, good afternoon. Adam here. Today decided I wanted to start a new video series on revitalizing, updating, whatever you want to call it, working on our law firm website, and just sort of probably do an update once a month, show you the things I did, show you the things I'm working on. I thought it'd be sort of an interesting project. So, just for some background, we have a two lawyer law firm. Let me just pull the website up. That's gonna be easier. So two lawyer law firm, mountainverdict.com. We do mostly personal injury. We also do some amount of estate litigation and hourly litigation. We basically only do litigation. We don't do transactional work. So this is our homepage. You can see from the practice areas: personal injury, wrongful death, estate litigation, med mal, legal malpractice, and I don't know why that's there. I was fixing our practice area menu, and I think I put that one in the wrong spot. But anyway, I here is let's just start with the analytics, just so you know where we're at. I hate it when people hide the ball. So here are the analytics from the last 5 years of this website. So you're gonna see it's 50,000 page views in the last 5 years. So we're looking at about 10,000 a year, which you're like, yeah, that sounds kind of low. It is kind of low, but also you don't really need that much traffic for personal injury. We've stayed busy. We have 5 full-time staff with this amount of traffic, so we get a lot of our work, probably the majority, off of the internet, but we also get a lot of attorney referrals. So this is the basic analytics. You can see homepage gets almost 40% of the views, which means that people are pretty much specifically looking for our law firm. We also do some billboard advertising. So there are a number of sources of leads, but a lot of it comes in through Google search, and even more comes in through local Google Maps, which is affected by the pages you have on your website. So this is the traffic from the last 5 years. You can see it's pretty stagnant. It's stayed about the same, though. It stays at about 1,000 a month, dips down a bit, and while I was sitting here today, I was like, what happened here? It was on the uptrend. So we got a new website company, and our page views fell off a cliff. And we were busy. It was the end of 2020. We were just starting to come out of COVID, getting back up to speed. We had some staff turnover, so didn't spend as much time and effort on the website as we should have. And as I sat here today, I was like, I don't really know what happened with this traffic. I did figure it out, though, before I started the video. So we have our medical malpractice page. Look what happened here. So we were getting a decent amount of views, and then it just fell off a cliff because it was redirected incorrectly. So we lost all of that viewership, which is reflected quite dramatically in this graph. And then eventually we had a new medical malpractice page, which was not 301 redirected, and the traffic came back once Google figured out the new page, which should have been 301 redirected. Who knows? Maybe we missed $1 million case in here. But the way medical malpractice and contingency work works for the most part is we need qualified leads that have real cases, and a single case can bring in 6 figures in revenue. So the amount of traffic is less relevant than the quality of the traffic, but obviously the more traffic you have, it's just a sort of a situation where the more you get, the qualified leads are going to be buried in among everything else. So you want to screen them all. So yes, while you want to get qualified leads, you also just want to increase the total quantity of leads, because it's just the law of large numbers. You're going to get good stuff in there mixed in with the stuff that you can't help with. So this is where we're starting at. And I wanted to sort of take you to the website real quick, just so you know what we're doing. So we have it split up with major practice areas. So these are sort of the ones that we are really interested in for personal injury. We want cases with serious injuries, but we also want like ATV accidents are usually pretty serious. Trucking accidents, motorcycle accidents, those kind of accidents usually result in more injuries. And in the case of truck accidents, there's almost always more insurance coverage. So, we're looking for both big injuries, large injuries, catastrophic injuries, and we're also looking for lots of insurance coverage. So those, those are the two that we're targeting. Car accidents obviously is our bread and butter, so to speak. I so here is, like I said, this is the major one. So I wanted to show you sort of like one web page to sort of drive my point home. So I did a page back in 2020, and let me just pull the page open. So, can I sue my spouse for car wreck injuries in North Carolina? So it seems rather, you're just like, that's a very odd question to be answering. These actually comes up more often than you would expect. So there's a lot of times where one spouse is driving, the other spouse is in the front seat, and it's a single car accident, and the person in the passenger seat is hurt. In North Carolina, you can actually bring a claim against your own insurance company to recover for that, but most people don't realize it. They just figure, our marriage, they were at fault. There's nobody else, so there's no money. It's absolutely not true. So, this is a little bit of an information campaign, plus these are good cases because a lot of times you can prove them relatively easily because obviously the at-fault spouse is not going to try too hard to say it wasn't their fault because they're just trying to get from their insurance company. So they're sort of weird claims, but they are totally legal, totally valid, as long as people realize they can do it. So I back in, I think about 2020, right when we started the new website redesign, I wrote this post. And you're gonna see, here's the graph for it. I wrote it back in December of 2020, so you're gonna see that pretty quickly it started getting hits. So you say, okay, 150 hits. That doesn't seem like a lot, but we've had multiple six-figure lawsuits, and again, we work on contingency, so we get usually a third, sometimes 25%, depending. But if you get one or two good cases out of 150 hits, you've made, a minimum of $50,000. So $50,000, if we want to calculate it. So let's just be conservative. I think it's more than this, but let's just say we got two good spousal cases off of this. So 50,000 divided by 150 so each click is worth conservatively $300 a click. So that's how the math works in this industry. It is high value clicks, and that's why personal injury AdSense clicks are one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive, Google advertising. We're talking, if you wanted to do personal injury lawyer in New York City, you might be paying $100 a click. I'm not kidding. $100 a click. Trucking accident lawyer, New York City, might be $200 a click. It really does get into the astronomical range for advertising because each individual case is just very expensive. So the acquisition of customers in this industry is, and when I say customers, clients, I'm going to use it interchangeably. We're talking about, marketing here. And obviously each case is individually, each case is different. Some we can help, some we can't. I'm not saying any of this to be cold, so to speak. We're good at these cases. This is what we do. But if you don't have cases coming in, you're not going to make any money. So this is one of the pages I did back in 2020, and conservatively making $300 a click. So of course these are worth the time to do, and this one is going to continue to generate traffic probably for forever. As long as we got the website, this will probably continue to get a couple clicks a month. So we're essentially getting, maybe so let's just do like the last month, I guess. So last 30 days, we got 15 clicks. So at $300 a click, that's I can't do the math. $4,500 worth of marketing. Return on marketing. That is quite high. So that's sort of where this website is currently at. Again, 50,000 the last 5 years, so 10,000 page views a year. Trending slightly downward over those 5 years. But a lot of that was this huge dip right here in the middle. It's pretty close back to baseline from where it was before. But obviously it needs some work. So what I have been doing is I have been writing some new blog posts. So if we want to look at the dashboard, there are currently 17 posts. So there were pages before we did this revitalization. And again, I'm sort of new to the lawyer business. I've been doing it since 2016. So this website is originally was my dad's law firm. Now it's our law firm. So my involvement sort of started in 2016 or 2017. So that's why I started the analytics in 2018. What the first couple years I spent my time learning how to do the lawyer thing. Now I want to spend more time marketing. Even though we've stayed pretty busy. So we had pages before, but not really any blog posts. So we had about 50 pages. A few of them are new. So if we want to look at the creation date, there were most of them, other than the first page, were made 2020 or earlier. There have been a few new ones as of 2022 that I did. So I did some drunk driving, ATV, dog bite, pedestrian, stuff like that. Those are all sort of new. So if you want to see, let's see what kind of traffic these are getting. Like the Uber one is pretty good. So I did this one about a little under a year ago. And again, I know this is a little bit rambly, so take this video for as you will. I'm just going to sort of go through it as I see fit. These videos are probably going to be somewhat long. Maybe you'll enjoy it, maybe you won't. The next ones are going to be more actionable. I just wanted to get everybody sort of an idea as to what I'm looking at so that you can understand the changes I do. So if we look at, I may have to edit some of this out. I don't know. That's one of my old websites I don't use anymore. Okay. So let's look at this page. So as you can see, made it about a year ago. So let's just do last 12 months. So this is one of the ones I did a little bit back in the day. And analytics as far as how many views it's getting. Let's run that real quick. See if it likes me or not. No, hang on. Give me 1 second. I'll do it this way. Uber. So last 30 days. 0 hits. Really? That's interesting. It was getting some traffic. So let's do the last, unless I'm just doing the wrong. Nope, nothing the last 30 days. Interesting. So I'll have to look into that because this one has actually generated a couple cases for us. So these are the kind of things that, Uber, actually, believe it or not, Uber cases have a ton of insurance. So very good for personal injury lawyers because a lot of times we're stuck with the state minimum insurance of $30,000. So if we can get a case where there's an Uber or Lyft, they usually have a minimum of $1 million in coverage. So $1 million is a lot higher than 30,000, which makes them it's good for Uber and Lyft for having good insurance is sort of the baseline there. But also they're much easier to pursue because there will be sufficient insurance to cover anything other than the most catastrophic of injuries. So, I have been making some new pages. Was the point I was trying to make. I had not realized I didn't get any hits in the last month on that one. So some of the other ones I've made in the last month are, or the last year, it would be like the hit and run. So let's see. Search for hit and run. So there we go. That one's getting a little bit of traffic. And that one, again, I made back in 2022. What month? Of July, I guess, of 2022. So, here we are in July. Nothing. 2, 3, and now we are getting a couple hits. 5 last month, 3, 4. So, it's slowly starting to grow. It usually takes 3 months or so. This is an old website, so it does actually have a pretty good backlink history. But these are some of the new posts I've been making, new pages, and then again, I moved away from pages more into posts because I think our search bar on the website is already plenty crowded. I don't think it's probably already too many in a lot of ways. So I have instead been making more blog posts, which I will then interlink, like propane gas, claims against businesses, compensation for passengers, just a wide variety of different things. And I will get more into the details as to how I've picked these posts in the next video. I just wanted to give a baseline. So we've got 50 pages, basically. 52 pages. And then, what did I say? How many posts? 14, I think. 15 published posts. So we got 65 pages on the website as of right now, most of which are older. The pages are all older. The posts are mostly newer. So I had the very first post I did in 2020, and then you can see I took 5 months to do another one, which these are not even published. So I did one in 2020, and then we started again. I started again last year doing a few. And then I realized that this is the way to go. We should be doing more posts. So now here we are again in 2023, and I'm going to take it more seriously. I've done, so if we look at published date, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the posts this year. So 11 of the 15 posts were done this year, and I'm going to step up the frequency as we move forward. So here's the plan. So I've got, again, 65 posts, and I'm going to be doing a mixture of posts that I find through just sort of Google searching. I also have looked at other websites. Like here is a list of posts that I got from other websites, some of which I publish. This is Obsidian. It's what I use to track everything. So I can go to the posts, and then here's the content. So I write them here, and then I move them over into the website when I'm done with them. It's just, this is my preferred backend because it's just clean and easy to work with. So I am going to add more posts, and I'm also using, so some of it's just going to be from looking at other websites. Some of it's going to be just topics that I know. I mean, this is my industry. The whole, my big maxim for websites is only talk about things you know. Don't talk about stuff you don't understand, don't know anything about. Your content's going to be both bad and inauthentic, and even if it ranks, it's not good content. So I'm going to talk about things I know, which is the job I do for a living. So hard to go wrong with that. So let's, I'm also using Surfer SEO. I don't know, Efficient Stuff is my little website I'm playing around with on the side. We're not getting that today. It's basically a website to talk about templates for software, some of which obviously has a good bit of overlap with the law firm. But anyway, Surfer SEO is my backend tool I'm using for keyword research to help me write the content, make sure I hit all the high points. And I'm also going to start, so they came with this new feature called Grow Flow, which basically gives you a list of tasks to do every week. So I'm going to do these. Why not? It's not too bad. It's mostly adding keywords, internal linking, and then this was funny. Insert link to page not found. So obviously, some 404 errors still. So I'm gonna go. I think it changed from contact to contact us, and then the new link to our contact page is just contact. Oops. Yep. So our previous website people did not redirect. They did not 301 redirect this. So cool. That's just great. So I'm going to fix the links, 301 redirect all these broken links, and just do all the tasks. So I'm going to follow the Surfer SEO suggestions. I'm going to do my own keyword research. I'm going to do keyword research inside this tool. And we're going to go from there and just sort of see where this takes us. It's a fun project. It's both fun and hopefully lucrative. I have, it's always a challenge to convince yourself sometimes to do the things that need to get done to increase the amount of money you're making or just the longevity of your business, because without stuff coming in, you're not gonna make any money. So you have to have stuff coming in to make money. I have made other websites in the past, like I did just sort of for the fun of it. Let me show you. So this is Aqua Life Hub, which is I'm a big fish tank person, so I have freshwater and saltwater fish tanks. And this is a website I started goofing around with back in 2020 when I should have been doing the law firm stuff. But you can see I grew it to, at its peak, 16,000 page views a month, which is not bad. It's 16 times more than the law firm website's getting. So yeah, you can see perhaps if we're talking about a pure financial return on investment, this was not it. Because I make about $10 per thousand viewers. So at its best, I was making about $150 a month. When the leads from just the single posts on analytics, the spousal one, I'm making triple that off a single click. That's just the reality of it. So, you know, perhaps not great return on investment, but I did have a lot of fun building it. And actually, I've done nothing with it for a long time. I don't think I've added a single thing to it in over a year, and it's actually maintained a decent amount of posts or a decent amount of page views. Still getting looks about 11,000 a month. So I do know how to do this. The question is just, should I do it? Will I do it? Part of the reason I'm doing these videos is to hold myself accountable to showing some sort of monthly progress every month, that way I can talk about it as well. So consider this both hopefully informative to people that want to watch a project progress, and also a little bit of self accountability to hold myself to it. So I hope that this was interesting to you. I know it's gone on a bit long, 21 minutes. It's a long video. So but I know that a lot of people are like me who enjoy the longer videos and actually get into the data. So I'm sure people would ask, don't you feel bad? Isn't someone going to come steal your content? Yeah, okay. Somebody in Asheville, North Carolina that runs a personal injury law firm wants to come copy my content. Have at it. Good luck with that. I will just continue to put out more content. I'm not really terribly concerned about that. It's you can already get to the content. If someone wants to scrape my content, you can already do it. This is not, it's online. It's public. If you want it, you can get it. And like I said, I'm finding top blog topics from other lawyers as well. I was pulling them from law firms not in North Carolina because I don't know. I feel like, like I said, I don't know that I want to scrape from a competitor. It doesn't feel right to me, even though there's nothing illegal about it. I'd rather grab content from elsewhere and repurpose it for North Carolina as opposed to the other states it was published in. All right, well, that is all I got today. My voice is starting to get a little hoarse, so I think we'll end it there. And the next video, like I said, will be on stuff I've actually accomplished plus where we are at. So this is sort of the end of April. I will probably do the next one. I mean, I don't know. It'll either be monthly or it'll be whenever I want to do them. At least monthly, perhaps more often if I have interesting things to talk about. All right. Thanks very much. Bye.